Okay. Let's go.
So Calgary is experiencing exponential growth in the film sector. And obviously here to discuss that is Luke Azevedo, VP Commissioner of Film, TV and Creative Industries at the Calgary Economic Development. Luke, great to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I know that you're at the Calgary Film Center, of course, but before we touch up on that, I want to talk a little bit about you and what you do. Obviously, you've been in the game for quite some time. Tell us a little bit of what goes on with you.
Yeah, I'm a seasoned veteran now, let's call it. Okay. So my job is multifaceted. So first and foremost, as VP of Creative Industries, it's my job to ensure that there is the growth and development of all of the creative industries, not just film and television, interactive digital media, working with our civic and private sector partners to ensure that we're enhancing our ability to be a cultural, a cultural location that people see as an opportunity to come and spend their lives with their family, and to be a place where they want to come and create that life. I think this is part of our attractiveness now, is the cultural aspect of our city. In previous times, it was about the house, it was about the shopping center and the trees and lined streets and such. Still exists, but culturally being able to be in a place where you're comfortable and have the opportunities to engage on a daily basis with that culture is extremely important. So we're happy to be part of that. And then the second part is on film and television and interactive digital media, which encompasses gaming as well as digital entertainment. So for me, my job is to go out and entice folks to pay attention to Calgary and to Alberta, and to present opportunities here that bring them into our environment and give them an opportunity to see what's here. Once we have them here and we get a chance to showcase our world, it's a pretty easy sell in most instances. So I spend my time traveling to many places throughout the world, whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's Cannes, whether it's Berlin, Toronto, New York, just to ensure that we continue the momentum and that we're front of mind on projects as they're making decisions on where they'd like to shoot them. And we've been pretty successful here in the last little while, and hopefully that momentum continues.
That's fantastic. In March 2021, obviously, the province removed its $10 million per project tax credit cap in an effort to draw big films and television productions in Alberta. How has that impacted the industry, especially drawing in foreign direct investment in Alberta? And that's what you're doing a lot as well, right?
Yeah, so basically what it did is it told the world that we were open for business. So previous to that, we had on a per project basis, we could never exceed a $10 million investment on the project. So for us, that created significant impediments and limitations for the type of work that we could attract into the province. So for example, if we're competing against other regions in Canada and our 10 million is the top, well, everybody else is going to pass us when on these large projects. And there's no way that we can incentivize in other manners to attract the productions here. I mean, we are not the largest incentive in the world. We don't need to be, but we're also not the least incentive in the world. We're somewhere in the middle that allows us to be competitive nationally, that automatically makes us competitive internationally. So there is no fear now or any concern in being able to be competitive on projects the size of The Last of Us, or Under the Banner of Heaven, or The Revenant, or Fraggle or Fargo, or any of the other projects that we're competing with the world to attract to this province. Great crew, great infrastructure, all consistently growing. March 19th was the trigger point for us, 2021, when Minister Schweitzer identified that the cap was removed, and we then became a global player in this market.
Which is awesome. I mean, you obviously have traveled all over the place to meet big players, MGM Studios, HBO, and DreamWorks Studios as well, to bring in a lot of the movies, including Predator series, Prey. How has the Calgary Film Center, which opened in 2016, played a role in terms of getting all these productions done?
Well, it was a piece of critical infrastructure at that point to really be considered a legitimate location for film and television globally. Infrastructure has to exist there. We also have winter here, so giving studios an opportunity to come into a purpose-built facility that could accommodate their needs, and at the same time, they could be shooting in the mountains in the morning and being in the studio in the afternoon because of its proximity, being in the city. And being of the quality that it was, certainly did turn eyes towards Calgary and to Alberta. But what it takes is three different components. So initially, and then there's two more that we can talk about afterwards. But so initially, what you get asked is three questions. What's your incentive? Is it competitive, and is it accessible? Secondly, what's your crew base? So are they world class, and how deep is it? How many projects can we do at one time? And thirdly was about infrastructure. What do you have there for facilities, not just studio facilities like the film center, but also, equipment like William F. White, like Panavision, like MBS, all of the different, like MBS, who does a lot of work with our local and foreign productions. So there is a lot of opportunity here for us to be able to tell a different story when you had that type of infrastructure in place. And for us to be considered legitimate at that particular time, a purpose-built facility was critical for us to be able to say that we could compete with other jurisdictions in the country and then international.
I mean, we could talk about this forever. I know we're running out of time right now, but I think we're going to catch you again, of course, to continue this conversation. I think there's a lot happening in Alberta, and you're the guy for us to tell us what's going on, of course. So thank you so much, Luke. I really appreciate you being a part of this conversation with us.
Thank you, Judy. Pleasure to be
Awesome.
here.